What is up, everybody, and welcome back to Skate or Die. And I'm scared, guys. For the past week, I've been staying up all night worrying about what to upload next. But thankfully, I looked through my old videos and realized that the last time I made a video about skateboarding habits, it did really well. Like, really well. So I decided to make the opposite of the last video and make the worst skateboarding habits for new skaters. And before you think that I just took everything from the last video and reversed it, you'd be right. I did exactly that for some of the points, but I also improved on them, and I also added a lot of new ones, so it doesn't matter if you're a new skater, an old skater, or a new fan of my channel, or an old one, you will learn something new today, and it could be something that could save you when you're skateboarding, be it from an injury or just from embarrassment. So, without taking up any more time, let's get right into it. Number 1. Having tight trucks. Now this one is a little bit subjective and it's really up to whatever feels right for you. But in general, having really tight trucks is a bad habit to get into, and it's also a very common one to see with beginners. To state the obvious, you won't be able to turn as easily or at all depending on how tight they are, and you will instead have to lift the front of your board to turn quickly. Now some people tighten their trucks to be able to go down bigger hills in their skateboard, but that has a lot less to do with how tight your trucks are and a lot more to do with where you place your weight on your board and your body position. But I think that the most common reason why people tighten their trucks too much is because it makes it easier to balance on the board and practice for tricks. And although it definitely does make it easier, that doesn't mean that you should be doing it. In skateboarding, the style that you have when you land a trick is just about as important as the trick you land. And if all that you know is how to do your tricks on a board that is as stiff as a rock, you could be teaching yourself a lot of bad habits as a result of it. And when you step onto a board that has looser trucks, you'll find yourself unbalanced and not being able to do a lot of the tricks that you already learned. On top of that, riding with loose trucks typically means that you'll have more style in your skating because you'll look a lot looser, no pun intended, and be a lot more relaxed on your board. And most importantly, having tight trucks will cause your bushings to wear out faster, meaning you'll either have to tighten your trucks more, causing the bushings to get even more damaged, or you'll have to get bushings every other week. In short, riding a board or learning tricks on a board with tight trucks could give you bad habits when you're learning new tricks, and also in general, riding with loose trucks will give you a bit more style points. But if you're still stuck on riding with tight trucks, at least go and get some harder bushings and don't tighten them as much, so that way they don't wear out in the first hour of you skating and you'll still have trucks that are tight. Number 2, not knowing where to look or just looking at your board. A lot of skaters don't know where to look when they first step on a skateboard, even to the point of when they start learning new tricks. And while you may think that where you look doesn't really matter, anybody that has driven a car, or even more so a motorcycle, will quickly tell you otherwise. Where you look is where you go is a commonly said phrase that you'll hear in your driver's ed class, and it is very true. So that's why it's important to look up where you go when you're riding your skateboard. Now, if you're just riding around on a flat surface, it doesn't matter all that much. But when this starts to matter a lot is when you're skating an obstacle at the skate park or bombing a big hill. You've probably realized by now that a lot of pro skaters don't look at their feet all that much or at all when they're skating. And if you look at your board every time you ride it and not at the thing that you want to skate or the direction you want to go in, I've got news for you, pal. You have probably developed a bad habit. This will most likely affect you later down the road when you start going to skate parks more and start skating quarter pipes or other obstacles. But a place that can affect you regardless of skill is when you're bombing a hill. It's something that everybody on a skateboard has done. But sometimes you choose a hill that's a little bit too steep and now it's just you and the slam demons in a fast wobbling battle going down the hill. But if you look straight ahead and focus on the road ahead of you as opposed to what's right in front of you, and also relax your body, bend your legs, and have the right weight distribution on your board, you can bomb almost any hill that you want without getting speed wobbles. But just remember to start small and build your way up. I am not responsible for any of you donating your skin to the pavement. Number 3, practicing tricks stationary. This is the way that most people will learn their tricks, and it makes sense. You don't need a lot of room to do it, and the only thing you need to focus on is what you're doing with your feet. But as soon as you learn a new trick, the first thing you should be doing is going out and doing it while you're rolling, then doing it down something, then up something, and then over something. Think about it. When you're riding a board, it's very rare that you stop rolling to do a trick. You do it as you're riding down the street, or before or after you do another trick. So it only makes sense to practice all the tricks that you've already learned stationary while you're rolling. This will overall improve your balance and also your ability to do that trick, and it's an essential part of your progression. So as soon as you land a new trick stationary, be it an ollie, a shove it, a kickflip, whatever, try to keep learning it when you're moving on your board, and then it'll be a lot easier for you to do it off something, onto something, or over something. Number 4, moving on from learning new tricks too quickly. This is a common one and also one I've fallen victim to myself before. Let's say you're practicing pop shove-its for a few hours and you finally manage to land one. Congratulations, you can now pop shove it. Sorta. While you may have landed it, you're still far from mastering it, and you'll have to keep practicing it until you land it every time. And mastering a trick isn't something that you can do in just one session. It's something you have to work on for most likely months, if not years. So once you get the satisfaction of landing that new trick, to be able to keep landing it, you'll have to practice the same trick as well as all the other tricks you've learned to keep the muscle memory fresh. Number 5, not watching skateboarding videos. No, trust me, this is not a ploy by me to have you binge watch all my videos, although I would appreciate it. And this isn't even me telling you to watch other skaters on YouTube. I'm talking about watching some classic skateboarding videos. I already have a video about some of the best skateboarding videos in history, so watch that if you want some recommendations for videos to watch. But overall, watching skateboarding videos might not directly impact your ability to skate. Like, you won't be able to do amazing frontside flips by watching the Andrew Reynolds compilation. But what watching skateboarding videos will give you is a greater understanding and appreciation of the skateboarding culture. And it'll also open up your creativity for the things and the places that you can skate on your board. And who knows, it might even cause you to make a skateboarding video of your own one day. Which brings me to number 6, not filming yourself skating. This can be one of the most beneficial things you can do to improve your skating. If you're doing something wrong and you know of anybody else to spot you or tell you what to do, you'll be able to watch it back yourself and see what you did wrong. Or if you don't know what you're doing wrong, posting a video of yourself to new skaters on Reddit will get you a lot of advice from skaters that have been at it for way longer than you. And even if you have somebody else teaching you how to skate, being able to see yourself and play the video back in slow motion will help you and help them with spotting exactly what you're doing wrong and how to fix it. Number 7, pushing Mongo or mall grabbing. Now, at the core, there isn't anything wrong with pushing Mongo or mall grabbing. Skateboarding is subjective and you don't need to push like everybody else or hold your board like everybody else. But if you do pull up to a skate park and you aren't that good and you're pushing Mongo and you're mall grabbing, I won't be the first one to tell you that those kids are in fact laughing at you. Why? Well, for pushing Mongo, it's overall less stable and you have your weight on the back of your board when you push versus the front when you're pushing regular. So I guess in some instances it can cause you to wipe out. As for mall grabbing, it's pretty much trademarked by posers, thus why it has its name, mall grab. The way that you hold your board when you go and pretend to be able to skate at your local mall in an attempt to impress people. Little secret, nobody cares that you skate. Both of these are just common ways that people that don't actually skate push and hold their boards, causing it to pretty much be an inside joke within the skateboarding culture. At the end of the day, you can push Mongo and mall grab all that you want, and it won't really change all that much about your skateboarding skill. But if you go to a skate park, be prepared for a fair share of lighthearted jokes and laughter at your expense. Number 8, sticking to only the skate parks or the driveway. This one is kind of like not practicing your tricks rolling. You've got to leave your driveway or your skate park to go out and skate in the streets. I know, the streets aren't smooth, the streets have pebbles, and the streets is where my ex lives.
She belongs to the streets.
But that doesn't mean you should avoid skating there. Yes, it is harder, but at the end of the day, it will only make you a better skater. But once you get used to riding in the streets, you'll be able to enjoy how fun it really is, and you'll be able to go almost anywhere you want to on your skateboard. Number 9, not following skateboarding etiquette. This one is less of a habit and it's more of just something that people are born with, but make sure to follow skatepark etiquette when skating with others. I won't go into it in this video because I already made one about it, and I'll link that at the end of this video, so make sure to watch it if you haven't. And the last biggest bad habit people run into is not subscribing to my channel and not liking my videos. I know it's weird, but it does make you better, trust me. I make videos about skateboarding like this one twice a week, so if you want to learn tips, history, or just fun stuff about skateboarding, make sure to subscribe. Anyway, that's all for today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon.